Feng Shui has the history of 5,000 years. Only the emperors used Feng Shui in the past, and all Feng Shui masters would be sentenced to death after serving the emperors. Why? The Chinese culture has a long history of 5,000 years, so does Feng Shui. In those days, the Feng Shui masters could only serve the emperors. Why? There are mainly two reasons. Firstly, it could take 10 to 15 years for them to find a perfect location for a palace. Why so long? In those days, people traveled mainly on foot, crossing rivers and climbing mountains without modern transportations. This is why only emperors could afford to hire the Feng Shui masters. Feeding someone to walk around for 10 years was incredibly expensive. Second, because Feng Shui was considered as a powerful tool, the emperors feared that if the general public learned the secrets of Feng Shui, they could use it to challenge the emperor's rule. As a result, many Feng Shui masters were executed after serving the emperors, as rulers were afraid that they would reveal the secrets of Feng Shui to others. I hope that I wouldn't be murdered after sharing the knowledge of Feng Shui with you. He Sheng served as the Grand Secretary and Minister of Finance in Imperial China during the reign of Emperor Qianlong. He was the most favored officer of Emperor Qianlong, but ironically, he was also the most corrupt figure in the Chinese history. Let's find out how much he made with the power of Feng Shui. He Sheng was sentenced to death the next day after Emperor Qianlong passed away. It was later discovered that his net worth had reached 270 billion US dollar, which was equivalent to 15 years worth of the Qing dynasty government's income. This made He Sheng the richest person in the world 250 years ago. At that time, the annual grant for King George III of Great Britain and Ireland was 700,000 pounds, which equivalents to 900,000 US dollar only. Even today, the wealthiest individual, Elon Musk, has an estimated net worth of 330 billion US dollar. Having 270 billion dollar back in those days was really super. I'm not saying that you can do anything illegal with the power of Feng Shui. How He Sheng ended his life was quite sad as well. But let's have a look at his mansion, which is now commonly known as the Prince Gong Mansion. This was He Sheng's bedroom. If you look at this pillar, this is called Nan Mu, which means gold rim. If you look at it very closely, you can see that this pillar, this wood, this trunk is actually gold rimmed. It really looks like gold. And He Sheng had 4 of these pillars in his bedroom. The current estimated price for each pillar is 0.4 billion US dollar. Just for one pillar is 0.4 billion. Of course, other than these 4 pillars in his bedrooms, the entire mansion was constructed with many others expensive materials and decorated with all super luxurious items. The entire mansion takes up 60,000 square meters, which equivalents to 14.9 acres. Now you know who used Feng Shui in the past and their achievements. What about now? Who uses Feng Shui now? I'll first show you a small mansion. It is 6,000 square meters, which is only 1/10 of Prince Gong's mansion. It was completed in 1995 and it cost 63 million US dollar. This mansion is estimated to be worth $150 million now in 2025, but it is still very far away from Prince Gong's mansion. Even just one pillar in Prince Gong mansion worth 0.4 billion. Anyway, do you know whose mansion is this? You're right, that's Bill Gates. Not only his mansion is Feng Shui proof, even the Microsoft buildings all around the world are Feng Shui proofed. Let's see what Gates say about Feng Shui. If Feng Shui masters don't approve, I don't dare to live in. Other than Bill Gates, I think you know the next person too. I don't believe in Feng Shui. I do it because it makes me money. Even before becoming the President of the United States, Donald Trump was already a very successful businessman running his Trump organization in real estate development. Whether you like him or not, that's another story. Here are a couple of successful people who uses Feng Shui and make the power of Feng Shui work for them. I'm sure you know all these successful faces. Are you one of the successful faces who uses Feng Shui?